Yes, I see the light blinking now. Good. Well, welcome to another Tuesday Coffee Talk session. Actually, this is the first of our new series for the new year. We're going to cover retirement living options today. As we started the new year, we want to start by really reflecting on the past 8, 10, 12 months and everything that we've been through, everything we've learned. And not just kind of technology, but learn about ourselves, and what we want for our futures as well. So we're going to start the series in 2021 with that reflection, and also, just doing research about, what are your options going forward and what do you want for yourself for the future. So Rebecca and I are going to kind of tag team. We did a PowerPoint presentation this time so that we can really show you all of the information that we're sharing. It's a lot. And so it was better to have, I think, that visual on the screen for you as well, and take notes, and we can send you a copy if you want to later as well. So here we go. Let's jump in, Rebecca. Do the mouse click. Okay. So first off, reflecting. We have a tool for you to help you through that exercise. So you know what I mean by that. And it's called the Finding Your Fit Guide. And this is something that we can email out to you or print it out and mail it to you. A lot of great prompt questions in there to help you reflect on, what do you want for your future and what is important to you, and help you determine what to look for in a community. So again, free Finding Your Fit Guide. Happy to send it your way. And as we do kind of start by self-reflecting, and you think about your current lifestyle and your top concerns, these are the things that we really want to help you address. When a group of seniors were polled, that exact same question was your biggest concern about your current lifestyle. You can see their responses were here. A heavy number of those fell under health problems, home maintenance, being prepared for that next time something breaks, the expense that goes along with that, of course, just keeping up the yard, and, finding, the handyman when you need him. Are they available? Losing independence is another heavy one for individuals. I think a lot of times seniors attach the independence to their home, and that's what gives them independence, when really it's independence is in you, I think, and wherever you go, you can be as independent as you want to be. Moving into a community doesn't mean that you are less independent. In fact, it could provide you with some services and amenities and opportunities that make you more independent, is what we find. And I think many of our residents do as well. I'm not sure if these questions might be, or the answers, I'm sorry, to the questions might be a little different now in our pandemic and kind of post-pandemic time versus before. Some of these concerns and priorities might have changed for people. So that's something for you to think through, and how you might rank all of these concerns. Okay. All right, so really, what are your options with regard to retirement and senior living? You could stay in your home, certainly, and take what comes with that, with repair and challenges. Maybe your home isn't built and suited for aging, so you might have to make a lot of changes to it in order for it to be safer and more accommodating for you. You could live with your children, and most of the time people cringe when we list this as an option. Most of us do not want to live with our kids, nor do the children maybe want you in their home. Who knows? but it is an option. You could downsize to a smaller house or a condo. And we know in this area, and in the Wabash Valley area, there has been a fair amount of construction in those single level type homes. Maybe the trade-off is that they just don't offer the same amenities, and additional services and things that a community would. Retirement communities, and we're going to go into that in more detail. That would be like choosing a Westminster Village. And then you have a lifestyle community as an option. Lifestyle communities are those 55 and older neighborhoods where, you know, there's obviously that limit and regulation on the age of entry, maybe a clubhouse in the center of the neighborhood. Um, I think one of the more popular communities is the Del Webb type construction communities. That would be considered a lifestyle community. Okay. So under your senior living housing options, we feel like it breaks into two kind of categories, and this will help you, I think, see that picture a little bit more clearly. There's residential living, and under that would be independent, of course, independent living, as well as assisted living, more apartment style residential feel. And then you have your more healthcare focused type services and accommodation. So memory care falls under that. And so does nursing home care and 24-hour nursing care. There are many words for that category. Rebecca's going to take it over and tell us more about nursing home care. What does that mean?
So typically nursing home care, it's more need-based. So whenever somebody's looking at long-term care or a health center, it's because they've got really no other choice. They've met the needs of an assisted living or maxed out those needs. So their next true step is to go to the long-term care. That's when you're needing more than one person to get up and get out of bed, or unable to maybe feed yourself or things like that. Of course, things that we don't want to think about, but they do happen. Understanding the cost is really important when it comes to long-term care. There are a few different options. Of course, there's private pay, which is exactly how it sounds. You pay out of pocket. There is the Medicare, which kicks in after a 3-day stay and is more limited. Then there is Medicaid. And Medicaid is when you've typically exhausted your financial resources, and they come in and they pay that balance for you every month. But of course, there's requirements that you have to meet. The access to quality care when you need it may be limited. One thing I want to point out, and I always recommend people ask, is, you know, when you're looking at a long-term care or even a retirement community that's a life plan community, like Westminster Village, is how many beds are Medicaid certified? Because, for instance, we have all of our beds are Medicaid certified. We went all out and got that special certification, but not everybody has all of their beds certified, so they might be limited. Knowing what you're going to pay is also important. So I mentioned earlier that there is private pay, and it's typically $250+ a day. So it is a more costly option, but it is a necessary one.
Yeah. For some people, it sure is. You know, that's a tough one to take care of at home, to stay at home for when you need that level of care. Okay, so memory care is another one that falls underneath that category. Memory care is very specialized. I think that term gets used a little bit loosely these days, but true memory care is a community that has been built and designed to take care of folks with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And what I mean by that is that it's normally lots of common space, lots of space for residents to gather together, maybe even spaces where they can engage in setting tables or preparing lunch, or, you know, activities that they would have done in their past that bring them comfort now. And so memory care often, their actual rooms or suites that they would sleep in maybe can be a little bit smaller. And there's generally kind of circular type of feel to a real memory care. Like I said, is very much designed to accommodate individuals with dementia and Alzheimer's. Another big difference is the staffing difference. You're not going to see quite as many nurses and CNAs, but you're going to see a lot of activities type staff, folks who are going to engage with residents, lots of one-on-one and activities changing, you know, every 15 minutes to maintain their interest and attention. Usually, you know, the cost kind of depending on the physical level of care, you're looking at about, you know, maybe $4,000 to $7,000 a month, you know, whether it's an assisted living level of memory care or more that 24-hour nursing level of memory care. And so definitely a good idea to ask about the limitations of service. When is this neighborhood no longer appropriate for mom and dad, so that you know what's to come and what the next step can be.
Next level of care is assisted living, which is also typically pretty need-based, but it is considered residential. And the reason is because specifically our apartments still have the kitchen or the kitchenettes. So it does feel more of apartment living versus the nursing home feel. As I said, it's need based. When you start needing, above and beyond what independent living or what we consider independent living can meet, that's going to be, getting up and getting dressed, getting showers, maybe managing your medication has gotten more difficult. That's when we would, expect a change in living kind of course. There are typically wait lists that go along with assisted living because as we need it, we need it. And I know here we have 38 assisted living apartments. There are a couple of different options when you look at true assisted living options. There is the all-inclusive sort of package, which is what Westminster Village offers, or there is a base plus level of care, or as some communities call it, an a la carte sort of services. And what that means to you is that when you're doing all-inclusive, you don't have to be afraid to ask for more help. You're certain what your monthly fee is going to be every month and what is included in that. When you're doing the base plus level, when you start asking for maybe, okay, I need help with bathing more frequently, I need medication management, you're going to see that monthly fee rise. So typically assisted living starts at about $3,000 and can go upwards of $6,000, if not a little bit more. Most are private pay. Westminster Village is, but you can find a couple here in Terre Haute that aren't. They do accept the Medicaid waiver, but it's not, or if there is a Medicaid waiver, it's typically has a wait list as well. There's licensed and there's non-licensed. Westminster Village is a licensed assisted living, and what that means is that we can offer anything that's under that license to you. If there's a community that's non-licensed, then they have to hire an outside company to come in and do that nursing care that they're unable to offer under their license, well, non-licensed. One of the benefits of assisted living is it does lessen your length of stay in a health center or a nursing home. I really hate that term, but the nursing, because we can offer that care for a longer period of time until you completely max that out. Then you can spend your dollars in the health center or however be it, but we can save you a little bit financially that way.
Good way to describe it. Okay, now you've got your retirement community type, options, or residential option, as we called it, and independent living too, as well as assisted falls under that residential care option. In independent living, your lifestyle very much remains the same, and but maybe is enhanced by more opportunities and more social opportunities. Instead of spending your time worrying about the lawn care and a tree that has just fallen after the storm, you are now spending your time practicing on the corn toss team and planning an event with a new committee that you've joined. That kind of thing is a big difference, I guess. Independent living, of course, is very much choice driven, so you make that move whenever you decide to make that move. A more residential setting, here at Westminster, we have our villas, but we also have our apartments. The majority of the apartments here within our main building are independent living, actually. Though we've been here for 40 years, we still find that there are folks who don't realize that, and think that everything in the main building is assisted living, but that's not actually the case. We have actually 201 total independent living residences here. So services and amenities can definitely differ from community to community. I think a lot of times folks are intimidated by the size of Westminster, but I really think the benefit in the larger size is greater resources, and therefore we can offer more services, more amenities. This year we're putting in a dog park and a wood shop. Pretty sure we're the only communities in town that will have those features in addition to the other things that we already have. And then, your benefits and as far as those next levels of care can vary from community. Do they offer that next step? If you're an independent, do they have assisted living? Do they have that health and rehab center? And what are the benefits there? And what are the services available to me there in the future as I age?
As Kate just said, there's a different variance in different types of communities, and here's a little rundown of how that works. So there's two different kinds. There's a rental community, or there is a life plan community. The rental community, of course, small or no entrance fee. Lease monthly fees are typically a little bit higher. The nursing care, like we talked about, is typically contracted out because maybe they aren't state licensed, or they don't contract anything and you have to leave once you need that care. Some examples are Sycamore Manor, Winmore, as you can see, Harrison Crossing, but you also see Westminster Village on that list. We do offer a lease. However, you are still entitled to everything that we have here. You're not limited because you're doing a lease. Or there is the life plan option. Yes, there is a one-time entrance fee and a monthly fee, but that entrance fee guarantees is a promise to you. If you were to ever exhaust your funds, we don't kick you out. We continue to care for you here, no matter what. There is nursing care on site at life plan communities. So it is the all levels of care under one roof, or the age in place concept. Life plan promise of care, as I stated before, and then we are the only true life plan community in Terre Haute. So how do you investigate and get that information? So you can do a virtual appointment, just like this. So we would you'd stay at home, I would stay here. I'd pick up my iPad and carry you all around the community and show you all sorts of different things, and we can go over everything. Or we are open. So come on in, we can do a personal appointment right here with you. You can see the community yourself, see an apartment. We are doing video tours, and I know some of you have probably seen them. We will videotape an apartment or an activity that's going on, and we'll post it on our Facebook page, Westminster Village Terre Haute Inc., or we'll send them out to your email. Always, always, always talk to the residents, find out what they think. They're going to be your true and honest opinion. If they're happy, they're going to let you know, and if they're not happy, they'll certainly let you know as well. Another thing to investigate is the ownership. Is it a private owner? Is it a company or a private company? I know, we're managed by Life Care Services. So there's a lot of different options there. Is it a not-for-profit, for-profit, local board? Look at all those options. Something fun that you can also do is a try before you buy, or what we call a staycation. This one's a little extra unique, so you can stay a couple of days, give it a shot, see what you think, or you can stay a month. So I actually have 2 people that are going to be doing that staycation, where they're going to stay here one's going to be here for a whole month, and then the other one's going to be here for 3 weeks. So they get to truly feel Westminster Village out before making that. We're just that confident. Love it when you get, and then plan ahead. Don't wait until you're at that point where you're like, okay, I have to do something right now. Plan ahead so okay, Westminster Village is where I want to be, in the future. And we understand that. So when you come in and you meet with us, there's no expectation that you're going to give us a check, at that first appointment. It's gathering information and learning more.
All right, and here are some additional tools and resources that we have to share with you so that you can continue to educate yourself and learn and make sure you're making the right choice. The first one, there's a website called mylifesite.net, which is truly like a neutral expert source where you can go and get guides, tips for what to look for when you're researching and touring communities. Also, they have a neat tool called a financial calculator on their site. And that is something that we have access to and could sit down with you, plug in some financial data, and truly show you how your money is utilized over time when you live in a retirement community, or when you might run into assisted living and health center costs and what that does with your financial portfolio. We're going to do an example, kind of a John Doe scenario, when we have our financial discussion on Coffee Talk in a couple of weeks. So you definitely want to join us for that. As that's, I know we know a top concern for everybody is, what is this going to cost, and can I afford to live in a community? The next one is we have two different kinds of guides. I mentioned already the planning guide at the beginning, but we have another retirement planning guide, which is a very helpful piece for you to work through your current expenses and how does that compare to the cost of living in a senior living community. So we'd love to get those in your hands if you are interested in using them. Westminster Village also partners with a home sale expert as well as a mover. We know that selling that home that you've been in for many years and what do I do with all of my stuff is one of the biggest hurdles that people put in front of themselves. And they need to get over that, we know, to make that move. And we know it's a lot and it's overwhelming. And so that's why we partner with a couple of experts in that field. Our home sale partner, Carrie Smith, has a special senior real estate expert designation, and our moving partners, called Caring Transitions, only move seniors. So they really have tailored their businesses to this industry and to our clientele and making sure that you're well taken care of. The next one is our fan club. Those are our residents who want friends as neighbors. We'd love to connect you with them. Make sure that you know about who lives here and what is their opinion about living at Westminster Village. There are definitely fans and cheerleaders, and they help us out a lot in the marketing department. Another tool and resource you can go to is the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services website. That for that nursing home report card is kind of what they call it. That's where the results from our annual surveys are posted on that website with CMS. And we're proud to say that Westminster Village Health and Rehab, it has a 5-star rating at this time, which is the top rating that you can achieve. In addition, we are members of the Accountable Care Organization with Union Health Hospital. That means that we're a preferred partner of theirs, and that we meet regularly with them and make sure that we are meeting all of their metrics with regard to success with rehab as folks come to us from the hospital and getting them back home safely and making sure they stay home. And then the last one is a new initiative with our management company called EverSafe 360 that has come as a result of this pandemic and the concerns that individuals have in being in a safe environment and a healthy environment, both physically and emotionally. So there's a lot more information to come on the types of things we're going to be implementing and changing here at Westminster Village to be sure that our community is safe going forward as well. And so again, we just kind of ask you to, to self-reflect and investigate, but why now? Well, there's some comments from some residents who've been through the process, and their advice to you would be, and their comments would just be, I wanted to move while I'm healthy and while I can still enjoy all that the community has to offer. This couple wanted to have a better plan for their cash flow needs and avoid unexpected household expenses or future, care costs. They know what's coming now because they've done the research and they've made their plan. This one is a common one that we hear a lot. We want our children to care about us and not for us. So making sure that, you spend good, positive, happy time together, not that kind of difficult, role reversal, which can get a little bit awkward when it comes to needing care and needing assistance from your children. Our dining rooms and our dining services here at Westminster is very popular. This gentleman says, now I can cook when I want to and not because I have to. I think Rebecca has shared this before, but we have a resident who actually, they've got a full kitchen in their apartment and everybody comes in thinking they need a full kitchen and dishwasher and everything. But once they get here and they start to dining in the dining room, they realize they don't need all of those things. and some of them use their ovens as storage. So never turned it on, not once.
That's really unique and tailored to Westminster. If I do have, there are residents here that do cook. Like
Yep.
if or you walk past their door and you might smell garlic and Italian, and makes you hungry. But then you've got the others that have unplugged it completely, and it's a little extra storage.
Yes. That's okay. It's an expensive closet, but and then feeling safe and secure. And of course, we know that that means different things to different people. For some people, it's about, the actual security personnel that we have here, 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And for some, it's about that nurse and CNA that they know is just, a push of the button away or a phone call away when they're feeling a little bit uncertain about what's going on with them. We've got that staff here to take care of you. So those are all good reasons to take a look at it today and not put it off. And most residents, I would say over 90% of residents who live here will say that they wish they had done it sooner. They wish they had made their move sooner. They wish they had transitioned sooner. So if you're thinking you're 5 years off, maybe it's time to start really looking and getting serious today.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so that's what the information we wanted to share today is just kind of that really high level. What are your options in senior living, and helping you get a better picture of what's out there and how to compare all of the apples and oranges that are out there. So going forward, though, we're gonna move through all of these topics as you see. We're going to take a little break next week because it's close to Valentine's Day, and we're going to do a fun topic on dating sites and online dating with seniors and what that looks like in the world of COVID and everything too. And so we're excited about that one. And then we're going to jump into the money on the following Tuesday so you understand again the costs of senior living and future care and what to expect. So, and then from there, we're just going to keep moving on through the steps of the process. What's available at Westminster Village? What are the lifestyle benefits? What's the actual process like with regard to auction and my stuff and the move and all of those things? We want to make sure that you get connected with our experts as well. So, so continue to join us on Tuesdays and at 10 a.m. And we'll have a chance for discussion and questions at the end of all of our presentations. And we encourage you to speak up and join us if you wish to on camera as well. Anything else I missed, Rebecca, that we should add?
I think so. I'm really excited. I really enjoyed just going through this. It's a lot of great information. I know people always ask me, is there anything that I should be asking you? And I know every community is different, and there's never a stupid question, but I would say it covers a lot of the important questions.
Yep. All right, excellent. We look forward to seeing everybody on next Tuesday.